As part of a special series on ITV News, we are investigating the dark side of cosmetic surgery. For our latest report, Ellie Pitt has been following the story of Sara Platt, whose procedure in Turkey nearly cost her life. Wanting to get rid of excess skin after a previous surgery, she travelled to Turkey last February, one of more than 150,000 Brits who make that journey every single year. But it went horribly wrong. She was left in debilitating pain, suffered shocking injuries and became badly infected. Her condition was so bad she nearly died. Now she's allowed us to film with her as she undergoes her latest round of corrective surgery back in the UK. And a warning that throughout Ellie's report there are extremely graphic images of the injuries which Sara suffered and footage of her undergoing surgery.
I was totally butchered.
Ow. And I'm going to need more surgery, unfortunately.
That's not right, that is.
No, it's really hurting.
It's not right at all.
What happens when surgery in Turkey goes wrong? This is Sara Platt's story.
I was rotting, I was green in a hotel room.
In order to lose weight, 3 years ago, Sara Platt had an operation in Turkey that reduced the size of her stomach. It worked, but after shedding 12 stone, she had excess skin that she wanted gone. So, after a year of research and visit to a Turkish clinic, in February 2023, she flew over to have surgery to remove the skin, as well as a breast lift and implants. Sara paid £15,000. It would have cost around £10,000 more in the UK. As soon as she woke up from the procedure, she felt that something was wrong.
I remember coming round. I remember feeling so naive. I literally didn't know, like, is this normal? Like, am I overreacting? This pain is the worst pain I've had in my life. I remember my dad being by the side of me and he's like, breathe, you need to breathe, Sara, you need to breathe. And there's loads of nurses around me and I was like, kill me, tell him to kill me, Dad, you need to tell him, kill me, I can't do this, you need to tell him. And I'd never experienced this. I wanted to die. I couldn't deal with this pain. And I remember looking down and I remember realising that my breast, after an hour of coming around, my breast was purple. I currently sleep in the kitchen, come bedroom, because it's easier for me, you know, going up and down the stairs, the toilet's right next to me.
It's been 18 months since Sara went to Turkey and life has changed beyond recognition. She's allowed us to film her reality now and follow her as she prepares for her 10th corrective operation back home in South Wales. But this is a big change, isn't it?
Yeah, because my bedroom used to be upstairs. Yeah, my bedroom was upstairs, so I'm currently in the kitchen. Yeah.
Following the failed Turkish tummy tuck, Sara needed a skin graft, but the scar has begun tethering or attaching to the muscle beneath it. It causes disabling pain and limits her movement.
I'm literally getting pain, like, I'll show you now. Like right there right now, and right there.
Across there?
Right there.
Sara is having surgery through the NHS, but her surgeon has invited us to his private clinic to explain how he will hopefully, and almost literally, put her back together again.
Do you feel tight across here?
Yeah, and it literally feels like it's ripping.
Yeah, it's a bit tight there.
Yeah.
So literally you have to undermine under here, lift it quite a long way that way, and then bring it over.
If Professor Whitaker can remove the graft and seal the skin, it could transform Sara's mobility and discomfort.
My biggest concern is at the top and the bottom, ironically. Here it's probably not too bad.
But there is no guarantee he will be able to completely close the wound once he's reopened it.
Yeah, it's all tethered under there. Sorry.
It's all right.
How would you describe the work of the surgeon in Turkey?
It was a very unusual combination of surgeries. There was lots of combinations done together. The blood supply to the tissue, it's fair to say, wasn't respected. It was a very long operation, I believe 13 and a half hours, which is certainly much longer than we'd say is safe in the UK for an anaesthetic. And there was obviously, in my opinion, a lack of training and a knowledge of anatomy. So I think it was a combination of the surgery, the length of the surgery and the patient selection.
9 days after her surgery in Turkey, Sara was feeling seriously ill.
It's coming out loads.
She decided to ask her husband to help remove her bandages in the hotel bathroom.
That's not right, that is.
No, it's really hurting.
It's not right at all.
As he was undoing it, all this brown liquid started seeping out of my body. And I screamed. I didn't know what to do. I was just like, I felt like I was falling apart. That's the feeling it had. It was like, oh my God, my insides are going to come out. They show all these amazing images, all these, oh, you know, health holiday. It's not a health holiday. They told me I'd be sitting by the pool within 3 days. I was rotting in a hotel room.
Her dream of a new body had become a nightmare and was now close to killing her. Her body was riddled with infection and her skin tissue was dying. The Turkish surgeon decided to perform a second procedure, this time not in an operating theatre, but what looked like a beauty clinic, using only local anaesthetic. Sara was awake while the doctor began working on the wound in her stomach.
He was handed a burning tool. He started burning me, and that will, for the rest of my life, haunt me. Every day, every night. Like, that ruined my life, that did, because that was worse than the cutting. The cutting was nothing compared to that. That, like, I could hear the sizzling in my skin. I felt like I was on fire and burning on the inside out. Like, I could literally see the smoke. And I knew at that point then, I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to die. Like, when you realise, like, oh, I feel sick, sorry. When you realise that I don't think I'm going to see my kids again. And that upsets me the most, that does. Because I thought I'm never going to see my babies again.
When Sara returned home in February last year after her surgery in Turkey, she went to A&E where Professor Whitaker was the plastic surgeon on call.
How severe was Sara's case?
It was a devastating case with significant infection, lots of tissue that was dead, and it was life-threatening. If there'd been a delay in hospital admission or transfer, then there definitely would be a chance of mortality.
We're about to show the most graphic pictures that Sara took of her injuries after she had multiple operations to save her life and rebuild her body. She spent 8 weeks in hospital in Wales. Her right breast could not be rescued, and Sara has significant scarring.
You've taken quite a bit this time.
As her near-death experience and lifelong disfigurement sunk in, Sara endured a period of psychosis that saw her admitted to an inpatient mental health unit.
It's destroyed me, totally destroyed me. Destroyed my family, destroyed the whole dynamic, destroyed my future.
How would you say your experience has changed you as a person?
I feel like a shell. I don't feel like Sara. And I say that a lot. I'd love to be back, the bubbly Sara. Do you mean? I try to come back. Do you mean? And I work and work. But it's left me questioning the rest of my life. I wanted to finally feel good about myself. Do you mean? I look in the mirror and I don't see me at all. I look in the mirror and I hate it. If you want to get the chicken off me then.
I'll sort the chicken out.
Right.
Are you nervous then or what?
Yeah, extremely nervous. I feel a little bit sick, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to eat this dinner. Right, dinner time, guys. You all ready?
Yummy!
We're with Sara the night before the operation to remove her skin graft. Her family are preparing for her to be admitted to hospital.
Mommy's going to miss you when she's in hospital for a couple of days.
When you're gonna have your surgery, I'm gonna miss you a lot.
Yeah?
If you like stitch that hole up in your belly,
Yeah.
you'll like become a normal mama then.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully they can fix it and Mommy won't be in a lot of pain anymore and Mommy can do more things with you, yeah? Go to the park.
Yeah, that's my favourite.
And Mommy can actually push you on the swing. Because
Yeah.
Mommy can't pick you up, can she?
No, when you're like in pain.
No, I
Only
can't.
Daddy can. But you have your skin away.
Mm.
And that's why you have a hole.
Yeah. I've got quite a few nighties.
Yeah. Although this procedure is being done in the UK, the thought of going under the knife again brings back traumatic memories.
As you're packing this bag, describe to me the feelings, the emotion that's going through you now.
I'm wondering if everything's going to go right. wondering if I'm going to be able to come back home again. Do you know what I mean? Everything just goes through your mind. Do you know what I mean? And it's so scary. Like, I put on this brave front that, yeah, do you know what I mean? I can get through anything. But deep down, I am absolutely so scared. I'm terrified.
Because when you're in there, what's important for you to feel like after all your experiences?
Safe. Like, majorly safe. I know I'm in safe hands this time, though. Like, they saved my life last year. That hospital, like, I can never be thankful, like, any more thankful than what I am.
Right. See you later. You good now, right? Yeah.
It's the morning of Sara's operation to remove the skin graft.
Walking back in these doors, I'm like, oh.
Does it feel real now you're here? Yeah.
Ooh, it's feeling real now. I'm so nervous.
Morning, how are you doing?
Morning, I'm good, thank you.
Sure?
Yeah,
Great.
nervous, really nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous. You're in really good hands today.
Yeah.
And you've been through all the worst of it. Although it looks like it can close when you really press it, then I'm very anxious we don't push it too much.
Too much,
just
too like
because
small. Yeah.
we want to, if that makes sense.
Professor Whitaker's challenge is to close the 8 centimetre wide and 11 centimetre long hole that will be left by the removal of the scar on her stomach. He won't know for sure if he'll be able to do that until during the surgery.
There we are.
Okay.
Yeah. Love you. Bye-bye.
What are you hoping to achieve in surgery today?
So the plan today is essentially to take out as much of the abnormal tissue as we can, and then to advance or pull together the skin and fat on either side of the abdomen. So she'll just have a scar, but she won't have the big skin graft which is stuck down to the muscle. And we're hoping that will have a big impact, not only on how it looks, but more importantly, how it feels, and reduce the pain and discomfort.
Ready, steady, go.
There's lots of scar tissue which is tethering it to the underneath. It's going really well so far. So I've taken out all the scar tissue. So I'm just deciding now whether to resite the tummy button. But I'm definitely happy with how it's going so far.
Words like botched and butchered are used often when referring to complications that arise from Turkish surgery. Would you agree with that description?
They are colloquial terms which we don't really like using as a plastic surgeon, and there are some very good Turkish surgeons, but I think in this case, I think it'd be very fair to call it something along those lines. It was a life-threatening complication with very poor results, which have left a very vulnerable lady in a very difficult situation. We just have to find a way to get it closed now.
It's been 18 months since Sara's surgery in Turkey, and she's still having to undergo major operations to correct that work. And she knows that this is unlikely to be her last.
So I'm just closing up now, closing up the deeper layers of the fat. We've resited the tummy button to be a bit higher up, and we're going to close the skin component next to bring it all in together.
Can we get some big silks, please?
How's it gone?
Really, really well. We've all finished now. It's completely closed, up to 6 layers in parts, including the muscle. I did explain there was a chance we may not be able to close it, so she'll be pleasantly surprised. Removing all the scarring and tethering is going to make her just feel so much better. It's been a really worthwhile procedure, and it's gone really well.
Professor Whitaker has been able to remove the skin graft entirely and leave Sara with a single thin scar. The operation has been a success, at a cost to the National Health Service. But whether the taxpayer should pick up the bill for cosmetic surgery that's gone wrong abroad brings into question the central principle of the NHS.
There have been postulations of an average of £15,000 roughly per patient, but with someone like Sara who's having 8 to 10 procedures, this could easily be 6 figures, so 100,000 plus per patient. So I'd say tens of millions of pounds is costing the NHS money, and it's also costing them bed days where other patients could be treated.
What do you think should be done to mitigate that?
There's no doubt we would like not to be doing these procedures because procedures were done well in the first place. But I think particularly if it's affecting pain or function or the psychological effects, people may think it's just aesthetic, and it really isn't. Whether there should be a cost that the patient themselves pay or insurance pays or comes from overseas is something that is being discussed.
Back on the surgical ward, Sara has woken up from the anaesthetic and is about to find out how her operation went.
How are you feeling?
I'm all right.
Good,
I'm
good.
not too bad. Yeah.
Well, it's really good to see you.
Yeah. So how did you?
I was really happy with how it went. We managed to get out all the skin graft from the top, yeah, and all the skin graft from the bottom.
No way.
All of it, yeah. So
Oh my God.
it's quite a big operation.
I'm just over the moon. I'm over the moon, and I know without that now I'm gonna have less pain. So I'm so thankful for what you've done for me. I really am.
How are you getting on?
Sara is now back home with her family and recovering well.
I am so happy with the results, and the care I've had. It's just been absolutely, they're insane. They're insanely amazing. I can't thank them enough. Like, looking at myself in the mirror now, even though I've got bandages on, I'm in love. I'm in love with what should have been ages ago, what it should have been like. This is what it should have been like a long time ago.
There will be people watching this questioning whether you should have had surgery on the NHS. What do you say to them?
I will pay the NHS back. I've always said that all along. I mean, they saved my life, and I owe them everything. I owe them everything, and I will happily pay them back whatever it's cost to save my life.
Come on, then. You're to bed.
The popularity of plastic surgery is seeing droves of British patients prepared to take the risk of operations in Turkey. Many are rewarded, but others pay the price of disfigurement and disabilities. And the cost of that is felt when they're back home.
I
Love
you.
And if you've been affected by the issues raised in Ellie's report, our website has more information on where you can get help and support. Just head to itv.com/news.